Hi, it's May. I'm sick. This is Dinosaur. Today we're going to talk about The Boy 2. So having the flu sucks some shit. I didn't like it. It's very bad, actually. I've had the flu for about 2 weeks now. I've barricaded myself in my home. I had all these really big plans for February. Those just went right out the window. I'm fine. But I was like, shit, I gotta make a video, because I'm not gonna just not make another video this month, because I had all these big plans, and I've been frustrated about it all month. And I just regained the ability to speak, so I figured now's as good a time as any. I said that great. English is not something I lost in the war. I am trying my best here. Obviously, we have completely deviated from formula. This is not taking place in the spooky castle that y'all have come to assume I live at. This is just in my room at my computer, because I wanted to talk about a movie, but I am physically incapable of pretending to be not sick. So here we are. So I was told that yesterday if I wanted to leave the house, it would be a good idea if I went to a movie and then came home. And that was a great idea, because I went and saw The Boy 2. Brahms, or I think it's actually Braums, The Boy 2, but I've been calling it The Boy 2, Boys A-Poppin', or The Boy 2, The Boy Is Back in Town, or as it is also known in some circles, The Boy 2, Let's Hear It for the Boy. Alternatively, The Boy 2, Hanging with the Boy.
I understand that some of Jude's behaviors would be upsetting, but I urge you to find a place where he feels safe. I think it will be good for him. Good for all of us.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
So I don't know if y'all saw the first The Boy. It's kind of weird. I would call it hinging on being a kind of disaster piece, relying very heavily on you thinking that this doll is creepy. And if you don't think that doll is creepy, well, you're probably not gonna like either of these movies very much. Isn't that right, Dinosaur? But I found the first movie to be fine. I don't know, I didn't even make a video about it, and yet here I am making a video about The Boy 2.
It looks like he was broken before and put back together.
Who's this handsome chap?
Brahms.
How'd you come up with that?
He tells me all sorts of things.
There's dogs barking outside. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna take this off because I'm getting very hot. So hot. Watch out, boys. I'm just kidding, I'm a lesbian. The whole kind of twist of the movie is that there is a man living in the walls of a creepy house, moves a little doll around to creep people out, and then does like really intense stuff. And it's more of a creepy perv kind of thing at the end, instead of being about a creepy doll. It is about a creepy doll, but the creepy doll is kind of more of a prop, and that sucks because the movie uses the creepy doll to do all of the creepy stuff, and then at the end it just kind of gives a real world explanation for things. And that's like my least favorite horror movie thing, where they establish something that's creepy and then they're just like, oh, it was a normal thing. Let's forego the original creepy thing to do this other, less creepy thing. It just always feels like a disappointment to me.
I just think it's all a little bit creepy.
So I don't know. I don't have high opinions of the first Boy movie, but the second one, which I don't know if I have high opinions of, tries to rectify this by being like, you know that doll that we exploited throughout the entire first movie for scares? What if it was actually the source of terror? So the movie features a prominent usage of lots and lots of very scary doll moments. And by that I mean the doll sometimes moves its eyes or its head and is sometimes seen sitting places, and then it'll be seen sitting a different place. Very, very rudimentary horror here. Nothing that you're going to be blown away by. But the story is kind of interesting, and that was something that I wasn't ready for. Like, horror completely aside, the story is interesting. It's about a little boy and his mom that definitely had something traumatic happen to them. They had some guys like break into their house. Something unspeakable is done to the mom in front of the little boy. Now the little boy is mute. And then he finds Brahms, which is what they call the boy, and he attaches himself to it as kind of like a trauma doll. So it's sort of his way of working through his traumatic feelings. But here's the thing though, what if the trauma doll that the kid bonded himself to was actually a demon from hell? Very clever indeed. But the thing is, horror movie bullshit aside, that's actually a fairly like true thing that does happen, where people that are traumatized often like glob onto things that they think will help them, but in reality like only further pull them down, and then eventually they have to realize this. So this is sort of what they call a coping mechanism, and there are healthy coping mechanisms and unhealthy coping mechanisms, and essentially the little boy in The Boy 2 has come up with a sort of unhealthy coping mechanism, which is, on a metaphorical sense, you know, he finds this doll and then he makes all these rules and then he makes his parents' life a living hell, you know, draws a bunch of scary pictures of killing people. Supposedly that's to feel powerful or something like that in a moment where he feels weak. And everyone is completely powerless to helping this. Like, what the fuck is anybody gonna do? Like, he talks to his psychologist, but he's not gonna tell his psychologist, yeah, I got this little doll and now I'm drawing pictures of murdering my parents. Like, obviously that's one of those secrets that he's probably not going to be telling anybody. But upon his family finding out that he's doing all this awful scary stuff, they're just sort of like, well, let's just be an asshole to him, which is a weird solution when your son has an unhealthy coping mechanism, to just sort of be an asshole to him. So the metaphor basically falls apart in like the third act of the movie, but at the very end of it, there's an interesting moment where the kid is wearing a mask to make himself look like the doll, and then when he takes off the mask and he like becomes aware of the high stakes situation that he's ended up in, he's like, oh, this is stupid, and he throws the doll into the fire, thus realizing his unhealthy coping mechanism and disposing of it, which is also something that happens to people who have experienced trauma. I mean, if they're lucky. Like, oftentimes it is very hard to become self-aware of things that you do to cope in hard situations. But in this movie, he kind of does, and I think that makes a somewhat successful metaphor in a movie that is overall not very successful.
He knew your boy would find him.
So I found it fairly interesting that it decided to go with a trauma metaphor, something kind of nuanced and interesting, even though, like, it also struggles with it too. And then Brahms, at one point, gets hit in the face with a baseball bat. His face is a charred black demon face, and it's very awful to look upon. And also, I guess if there was one more bit of praise I could give the movie, and I guess I do want to give it praise. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I have the flu, but lately I've been feeling like praising The Boy 2. Boy's a poppin'. You know the dad from The Witch? I can't remember his name. I'm gonna look it up now. I'm gonna find his name now. I gotta go to IMDb. Ralph Anson. Ralph Anson, yes. He's in the movie, which is wonderful to see him in a movie again. I don't care if it's The Boy 2. I'm super stoked to see Ralph Anson in a movie again. He was in Ready Player One at one point for like but a brief moment as a weird VR dad. And other than that, I can't remember other movies that he was in, but he has an incredible screen presence. You almost wish that he was in all of horror movies. He is gonna be in The Green Knight, which is cool, and he plays the Green Knight. Well, thank God for that. Thank you, David Lowery, for doing something that's very good for the world. I'm hearing a very scary noise. And he was also, I believe he was the villain in The Hurricane Heist, which if you didn't see The Hurricane Heist, you really missed out. It's a movie where there's a hurricane and some people decide to do a heist in the middle of the hurricane. Big mistake, by the way. Well, I don't know. I guess I've kind of like spun my wheels on everything to talk about in The Boy 2. My big takeaway with it was there was a surprising amount in The Boy 2 to talk about. Kind of blown away by the fact that the movie was not absolute trash. So I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say that I would recommend something like this because I don't really. If you need something to watch while you have the flu, I don't know. Maybe it's good. One could read in something interesting about the trauma angles in the movie, but for the most part, I don't know. It feels kind of undercooked to me, but it's there and it's interesting. I guess praise be where praise belongs, but I don't know. I don't think I would recommend it. But it didn't make me angry. I kind of expected that I would be seeing the movie and then I would just be laughing the entire way through it. And there are some pretty hysterical moments in the film. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's not kind of the most ridiculous movie. And there is also sequel bait at the end of the movie where they're like, yeah, you gotta fucking go see The Boy 3 when we inevitably do The Boy 3, even though, I don't know, I don't really have machinations that this movie is gonna make a lot of money. So this has just sort of been my The Boy completely cold take. And by cold, I mean I have a cold and I kind of wanted to do an easy one. This video is undoubtedly easy to make. I am just sitting at my desk. People might find stuff like this interesting in the future, so maybe I'll do more desk videos in the future. Hopefully when I'm well again. I don't know. I don't think people really are hankering for the desk videos. I think people like to see the high concept stuff on my end, but I need to find a way to make more videos, like more frequently, because I usually spend about a month or so on one video, and then by the time it's done, I'm so drained that I have to take a week off, and then I come back and spend a month on another video, and I only get like one video done a month, and it's usually not something that people are like really actively clicking on. So I don't know. I need to kind of figure out a new way around that. So maybe I could do more videos if I just do these simpler, smaller ones. I don't know. I guess it's a question of if you guys are okay with the bump in quality, if that means more content. I don't really know. If y'all want, like, are y'all wanting more content or do y'all just want the quality content? Leave your answer in the comments below. If you've got the flu right now, get well. And if you've got coronavirus, I really hope you get well. People are dying from both the flu and coronavirus, and that's fucking scary. But it's probably not gonna be that big a deal. It's probably gonna blow over and everything's gonna be fine. As long as I don't have bronchitis, which I'm pretty sure I do have, but oh well. I'll be back soon with another video. I have this really good idea for a video and I've been very excited to make it, and as soon as I'm well, I'm gonna be putting all my energy into making it. It feels awkward to throw a support me on Patreon at the end of this video, but support me on Patreon. Oh, and I guess one more thing is I have a new album out right now. It's called Doom. It should be on Spotify in the next couple of days. I've been kind of dragging my ass on that. It's part one of a two-part release. The second part will be released on May 1st. The record that's going to come out on May 1st is called Never Call Me Again. So never call me again. Anyway, get well soon. Love you very much. Leave a like and a subscribe if you're new here, and enjoy this kiss. A kiss for you. Oh shit, I just got you sick. I'm so sorry.